Johannes, give us your assessment overall if you can.
I think first half is a little bit below our standards. I don't think we really find the rhythm. It's an even game, but it's still us creating the more opportunities, and I think with a little bit more luck and a little bit more quality in the final decision, final finish, then we could have scored in first half, and then instead we end up conceding on that corner kick, which of course changed the game completely, because it should be a game where we go to halftime with 0-0 and then adjust some things and then hopefully get out in a better way in second, but still not a game where we have to chase in second, which was the fact. And I think second half we did what we could. I think there was a good balance with us being not too direct, but still direct in moments, creating a game picture where we're dominant and also not allowing any counters, because that's the fine balance when you have to chase and when you have to score that goal, because one counter attack and then the game can be over. So you have to play with that in mind, but still, of course, be a threat in behind them and in the box. And I think we created the amount of chances that we could expect. And I think the push that we had towards getting at least a draw was more than all right.
Clearly must be frustrated again because they've not had to work too hard for that goal, have they? And the timing of it as well, just on the cusp of half time.
Yeah, it's a big thing for us at the moment, unfortunately. That's I said last time that I think from the first national break and until now, it's more than 40% of the goals we concede come from set pieces, which is definitely something we are looking at, but still have to improve. And I think it goes as an own goal because I didn't really see any one of them touching the ball or the cross when it comes in, and it's not good enough. And I think our awareness and our focus and our decisions in those moments are not good enough, and it changes too much. It should never be a game that we are behind. We can accept that it's a draw at halftime. That's all right, and we can change something, but we should never be behind with that game picture. But that is unfortunately the case, and we keep looking at it, and we keep training it, and we keep highlighting what we can do better, because it is a game changer.
So with that obviously in mind, what you wanted to get across to the boys at half time, or did you have to change your messaging? What was the sort of key things you were driving home?
Of course, a lot of things changes because we planned the halftime talk and we did that a couple of minutes before the whistle. So it changed, of course, a lot. And now it was about chasing that goal, but still not to overdo it and to be too offensive minded. Like I said, one counter attack, they could score the second goal, and then the game was over. So it changed to be that finding that balance between being more intense in the pressing game, where I think we did. I think we didn't allow them as many passes as they had in first half. We created some dangerous moments, that the Borja Sainz situation after high pressing. So that part of the game became better for us. And then I think in the build-up, it was about finding that rhythm between doing some passes, but also finding the opportunities to go in behind them and finding the opportunities to go on the outside and bring in crosses and more situations in and around the box. And I think we managed to do that. I would have hoped for us to score a little bit earlier, because we can still win it even though we are behind. And when we scored, we even had a big chance straight after that. So I think the guys did more, or did all that I can expect from them in terms of pushing and still having the mindset to see if we can get a result. But it's that goal in the last bit of first half that destroys a big part of it.
I guess 89 minutes on the clock. There's probably nobody you want in that position, and Nunes in terms of his technical ability just to finish that chance.
Yeah, that's good for us. We adjusted his position a little bit throughout the game, where he started in a higher position, then we moved him a little bit low to get Jack in on the right side to do some crosses, and then we moved him up again towards the end to see if we can get him into those moments where it's a shot from distance or just the edge of the box, because we know he has so much quality in those moments. So that was good, and it was good for him, and I think it was well deserved for the team that we scored that goal. It would have been a disaster for us to lose this one. I didn't count any shot on target, maybe one or two in first half and zero in second. So that would have been a disaster for us. Now we get a draw. We're still disappointed because I think there was so much more in it for us. But it also tells us that again, results in this league are dependent on so many things, and especially set pieces are a big part of it. And at the moment, defensively, we're not doing well enough.
As you say, to get the draw, just to keep that momentum going after the Boxing Day game, that's important. And clearly you wanted the 2 home wins, but to get 4 from 6, it just keeps it building, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's the positive side we have to look at. And I think, like I said, the second half is what we can expect. I think we put them under pressure. We don't allow any chances against us, and we create more than enough to score at least 1 goal. I count big chances. I see big opportunities. I see a lot of action in their box, and I see a lot of players trying to see if we can score that goal. So I cannot criticize that performance in second half. But it's those moments where I've said it before, same in Sunderland a couple of days ago or some days ago, where it's an even game and then some deep free kicks and we find ourselves in a completely different position again, conceding from those moments. So it's really a big thing for us in the moment where we have to be collective as we always are, but we simply need to do better because it changes too much.
Just wanted. On another positive note, Slimani, he looks like he's got them hamstring issues behind him, Dad. Do you really feel, technically, he's really imposed himself in these last few games? He looks very comfortable in that centre midfield now. Yeah,
he is. And the subs we do at the moment and also resting Emiliano today is just a matter of that we play a lot of games in a row. So, and with the way that we play, with the high pressing, with a lot of movements on midfield, it's a demanding role to be a midfielder with us. And we can see that especially when we play Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday again, we need to give them a rest once in a while, and that will be the same thing on Wednesday in Luton, where it will be some of the others we need to rest a little bit, and that was also the case today. But I think it's good to see the flow that they can get into when we have that midfield with Kenny, with Nacho, with Anis, with Emiliano as a part of it as well. I think there's a good connection between them, and we can really play some good football in moments. And yeah, a big word for us this season is consistency, and that is the next step and what we have to bring to this group of players.
Just clarify, Sorensen was at the illness again.
Yeah, still struggling. Yeah, still, and still like feeling really well. I think it's been an ongoing thing for us. Yeah, some months now where I think all of the players we've had have been through it. So it keeps on hurting us at the moment. That's how it is. We deal with it.
A final one from me. I've got actually, you mentioned earlier, Borja Sainz got actually 1 away from the game. You know, there's a sense that maybe the FA are looking at something involving him in the Sunderland game. What can you tell us on that?
Not really much more than what you're asking here, than what you're saying here. It came to our attention that something happened, and probably there's an incident in the game, and we're still waiting for some evidence and exactly what it is. And of course, when we get to know that, then we find out how to deal with the situation. So
could you just clarify? I mean, is there been a charge from the FA, or is that just an indication that they're looking at something?
No, there's no charge at the moment, and that's of course also the reason why he's playing. And I also expect that he'll be ready for the team again on Wednesday. But we never know, and we have to wait and see if there will come a charge. We also don't know about that, but it comes to our attention that there is an incident in the game, or at least it's reported. So we can probably expect something within the next couple of days.
I mean, there is some suggestion it might be to do with spitting. I mean, can you confirm that?
No, because I don't know at the moment.
So effectively, it's just a wait and see job with the FA.
Yeah, and of course I will go and ask Borja about the situation. Today the focus was about the game and getting a result here. So, but now it just came to my attention, or I did earlier today, but I will not do anything about it because on a game day it should not be something that we are too concerned about. So when the two of us is done here, I'll have to find out what it's about.
But on a final point, I mean, you would hope that it's going to, whatever the resolution of this is, it would be the other side of the Luton game, and it would be available for Luton.
I find it difficult to see that if there will come a charge, or if there will be a charge of something, that they can deal with it before the Luton game. So I find it hard to believe that will be the case. But again, we have to wait and see what it is and if something is coming. So it is. There's a lot of ifs at the moment, and we need to find out. But we'll probably know more later tonight and tomorrow.
Thanks, Johannes.
Thank you.
I'll just ask a couple of questions about today's selection. It must have been, given there's a lot of games at the moment, and you had Kenny back, you had a difficult decision to make on who you withdrew from the midfield to accommodate him today.
Yeah.
How straightforward a decision was it for you to play the 3 that you did in there and leave Marcondes on the bench after he'd also been playing well?
It was not that difficult because he came to me yesterday or the day before yesterday and said he was really, really tired. So it was actually not that difficult. And he's been. We still have to remember he came from being without a club for a couple of months before he joined us, and then we more or less, put him directly into the starting 11 without too much training and so on. So he has built his fitness in games, and it is a matter of time before we need to rest him, and we need to take a little care of him because he's played a lot of minutes for us so far. He's been doing well, and that's of course the positive thing. So we need him in the team, and he's a good player for the team. But he was tired after the Millwall game, and it was obvious for me and him that this was the game for us to rest him. And the plan was actually that if we had a better result in the game, we would have left him completely out of the game today.
How hard is it for you to pick Callum Fisher above Jack Stacey at the moment? Because Jack Stacey continues to impress when he comes on with his forward raiding. And there's the feeling that maybe Kellen has had a lot of games in the first half of the season as a young player. How close are you to looking at that right back position and starting Jack in that role at Luton?
Yeah, but we look at it every day, and we look at it in training, and we look at it when we do our analysis, and I think it's the same with all the other positions where there is competition, and that's the best part about it, because they have to do their best every day in training. Then I think there's some tactical matters where sometimes Jack is a better fit for us, sometimes Kellen is a better fit for us. I think Kellen did very, very well against Millwall the other night in that central position, creating space for Oscar on the outside, and it was good for us. And then we can see if we don't succeed in that, or we don't find the rhythm in the game with that, then we can put on Jack, and we can change the momentum, we can change the positions just a little bit. And sometimes we prefer to start with Jack because we expect a different type of game. So they of course have to deal with the situation that there's competition. From my perspective and from a team perspective, it's all that you want, because then they need to stay sharp and need to stay focused. And I think it's a good thing for us as a team that we can choose between them, because they play that role different, and that's good for the team. Of course, I expect them to that they want to play 90 minutes every single time, but it's not possible, especially not with this schedule. So I'm positive about the situation. It's exactly how we want it.
One more question from me. You go to Luton on New Year's Day off the back of 8 away games without a win. How concerned are you about the side's lack of ability to pick up points on the road?
So I'm not concerned, because I think there's many of the games that you refer back to where they've been very, very even, and it's been small margins that have decided whether it's been a good outcome for us or not. Of course, we need to respect and also accept that it's been a matter we haven't won for 8 games. So it is, as all of us know, it is different to go away from home in this league, especially where it can be intense, and it's just a difficult thing. When you just look at the stats, also the top teams in the league, it's not because they have fantastic stats away from home as well. So it is a difficult thing. Of course, we are aware that we need to improve our performances and our results away from home, but I think some of them has been really, really tight and really, really close. But we see it as a good opportunity to change that momentum, and also keep some momentum on the two games we have just played now, where I think the performances again has been better and better. And that's actually the most important thing when we go to Luton on Wednesday, that we can build on this. Another good performance is important for us and is needed for us. And then if we deliver that, I think we are closer to the 3 points.
Just one quick point. The fans were getting very frustrated in the second half with the game slowing down, time wasting, a substitution taking nearly 3 minutes. How do you find that as a coach when you see that? All the momentum goes out, things happen very slowly.
It's a part of the game these days, and of course they were under pressure. So they had to do what they can do to slow the game down and to get some rest in moments of especially the second half for them. I think it's only down to the ref, and he can just add on, if he needs to do that 15 minutes. So it's not something we can affect.
It could have been more than 7, really. It could have been more than 7, really, I think. But
yeah, that's your words, and I think I accept that. So I see the same. It's not it's those moments we cannot control it. I cannot go to the board and put in 15 extra minutes and put up the sign. That's not possible for me.
It seems to take so long.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating as a fan as well as a journalist.
Yeah. There is another discussion. Is it really what we like? That there's so many stops and so many restarts, and all situations seem to take at least 30 seconds before we get it started. No, I think no one likes it, but it's a part of the game, and I think it's only down to the ref to get it started and make sure that every second will be added. That's the only thing we can do.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.